to know, we're going to start with Yetur Gross-Matos, drafted by the Carolina Panthers. You're looking at those 3-season stats, but 15 tackles for loss a season ago, 9.5 sacks a season ago. Yetur Gross-Matos was a guy that, he was in a conference where Chase Young was the king of the defensive ends. He was a pretty good player.
And he's probably one of the most underrated players in all of college football. This is a kid that has faced tremendous adversity in his life, and he's overcome that. And I think when you see him on the hoof, you realize he's a lot bigger, a lot longer than you think, and he moves pretty well relative to that type of size. And I think he's just an extraordinary, fascinating player to get a chance to go under the hood on.
Yeah, let's go under the hood. Let's see him on the hoof. Let's watch him move. And I think this is one of those things for me. He's someone that works real hard with that power to put – he's not a speed guy, right? He's a guy that's going to push you upfield so that he can take a more direct route to the quarterback. But you mentioned versatility. Here he is doing it standing up.
Well said, because at Penn State, they move him around. Sometimes his hand's in the dirt. Sometimes he stands up. He isn't twitchy, but what he does do, he's a deceptive athlete, and he gets a good first step. So he's able to get the tackle threatened. And then once he gets the tackle off balance, we'll see it here. Tackle has a wide base, so he can't anchor. So once he gets him off balance, he gets to the level of the quarterback. Then he's able to chop, rip through, and then V-line right at the quarterback. So this is technical, a good technician type of rusher, a great pass rush set right there.
Yeah, and I love that about him, right? You see him use kind of that club essentially to push that guy.
Yes.
Once he gets over his skis, club him upfield, I can get back down, get to the quarterback, more direct route. But I love that you mentioned when we were going into this intro, right? You mentioned setting the edge. This is something that I think is lost with calling guys edge players, is they don't all set the edge actually. But here we get to see Gross-Matos set the edge, keep that outside arm free, and make a tackle.
YGM, and absolutely, you see the lower body strength because he stones the left tackle there. And what I like is that we're watching film that's good on good. You're talking about some of the best offensive linemen in the country here at Ohio State. So the fact that he can kind of hold the point of attack right there and then disengage to get to the running back, it speaks to his strength, lower body and upper body.
Yeah, and we're going to see more strength here. And I think if you're the Carolina Panthers, you're excited about this strength, right? Because you get to see him throw this guy and then get underneath to go find a way to help his teammate out by getting to the quarterback.
Well, and this is when you need it. Backed up here, and now you want the guy to pin their ears back. And what he allows you to do, because he's so good with that up-the-field rush, is he puts so much fear in that left tackle to get back and set. And that's usually when he can come underneath with a little counter move and get to the quarterback. So this guy knows how to work it. Here it's even a 4-point stance, but he's very technical in how he does that. He can flatline, and he uses that length well. So he wants to get up in there, get those long arms out so that the tackles can't get into him. And I think that's the key to his rush. Again, he's not overly twitchy, but he's a deceptive athlete. And relative to his size and disposition, he does move well. This is a guy that's had tremendous production. I'm excited to watch him. And think about what Matt Rule's doing down there now coming to the Panthers, is he's trying to change that culture. He wants football players through and through, particularly defensive ones, and that's why they spent the entire draft selecting defensive players like Gross-Matos.
I love this graphic because the Carolina Panthers, and I grew up there, so I knew when they came down, they brought Dom Capers, right, as the head coach. They wanted to be the Steelers of the South, and they are trying to get back into that same mold with David Tepper, who was a minority owner for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He wants to do that again and replicate that. And I think YGM brings a lot of that to the table because he's someone that's going to be a football player first. And I think that's going to be huge for what Matt Rule is trying to do. When I look at him play, I see the power and I see the coaching as well. And we're going to get to the next guy here, right here, Alex Highsmith, in a second. But the thing I look at him, he never goes past the quarterback. When he's rushing, he doesn't go past the quarterback. And I think that's something important to think about with the skill set that he has.
And I think also, Michael, he likes to set up his rushes, so he'll work you over and over during the course of the game, but he's just trying to get to his counter. He's a tactical rusher, and that's exactly what you look for. That's why he'll have a lot of success at the next level.